That's right. Even virtual girls get viruses. But just because I'm sick, that doesn't mean I'm going to miss out on making this video. I am too excited for this series not to. But apologies if this video is a little bit boring because of that. I am so incredibly tired. Illness aside, welcome to the second episode of this character design series. What do I mean, second episode? It's only episode 1. I'm gonna go on a rant. So, I actually recorded an episode before this, and that's what you see playing behind me. But, I lost 3 hours of work on it. I was streaming, and, you guessed it, I ran out of disk space again, like I did for my left and right hand challenge. 3 hours of lost recordings, which is super unfortunate because I was really super excited to draw a dog girl that was an assassin for the channel, which you can still see it. It's right here next to me. The finished piece, that is. I was too happy with how it was going to not finish it, so I finished it anyway. But this may be for the best anyway, because it ended up more as a concept than a character design because of how much I shaded it. So, for the sake of the series, it may just be for the better that I didn't have it for this video. That didn't make any sense, did it? Whatever, I just mean that it's probably for the better that I didn't do it for the series. I just said that. Anyway, I should explain how the series works, shouldn't I? So I made a list of 31 different species, professions, and miscellaneous elements to put into these designs. But because the first one messed up, there's only going to be 30 episodes. I use a random number generator for every category to choose what character design I'm going to do. So without further ado, let's get to the drawing, shall we? So I knew the first thing was that I needed to give her pointed ears. I don't feel like a druid with normal human ears just looks right, so she had to have pointed ears, but I didn't want them to be very long either. Something I couldn't quite decide on though at the beginning was what kind of eyes to give her. I started with these more gentle eyes, but then I wanted to go in a more mature direction, I guess. Something I made sure to draw too was her feet, because I cut those off on the assassin dog girl, and just because I didn't want to deal with it. I just need to stop doing that to myself. I need to challenge myself. And plus, with a druid, I feel like it's kind of part of her character to be barefoot, so that's what I did. When I got to the hair, I thought something like the wispy bangs. They're not really wispy, I guess. They're more like, they curl upward. I don't know what kind of bangs those are. I don't think they're really humanly possible, but I've definitely seen them in anime before. And I just thought it was really cute, and I thought it was really fitting because I wanted to go with a very tree aesthetic. And because she's a messenger, I thought she would want her hair tied up, so I put her in a braid. And I ended up having to bring up my own old art so I could draw the braid because I forget how to draw braids all the time. I totally skipped over what the prompt is, didn't I? So the prompts that I got were Druid, Messenger, and hat. And the hat was already fitting with Messenger anyway, so it was really easy for me. But I forgot the hat until later, which we'll see. And now that that's out of the way, back to the actual character design. So, because I wanted to go for a tree aesthetic, I was getting a lot of like leafy clothing ideas. And I was looking at some other drawings that people have done of druids, and I don't think mine is very Druid-like. But because I went with the tree aesthetic, I think it's just Druid enough for it to pass. The one thing that I did see was the leggings or would they be stockings? I don't know if they would be stockings when they're leaves. But the only thing that I really saw were these legging things, and I saw some where they were more like a stem with leaves coming off of them, and I kind of liked that idea, and I made it my own. And what I also saw a lot of was capes. And I don't know what it is with druids and capes, but I thought it was really cute, so I went with it. I guess the not very druid stuff that I drew was the messenger stuff and also is it a leotard? Is that what those are called? Yeah, it's a leotard. Thank you, Google. I was gonna put like these branches around her arms because of the tree aesthetic, but I couldn't really draw it properly, so I skipped out on it and I just put even more like leaf arm guards on her. And I used like I guess it would be like a twine to keep it together, which I didn't really think about before, even though I did it on the leotard. And I think it looks better with that on than it did without, and I'm really glad I did because now it looks like something you could cosplay now. Like it could actually be possible. Great, now I'm getting ideas. Oh, who am I kidding? Virtual girls can't cosplay. Or can they? Coming in the future. But to get back on track, I wanted to draw a little birdie on her hand. I had the idea that she would use birds to send messages to people, and that's why she has the little bird, and I thought it was just so cute. And I also have to apologize about those feet. Those feet are horribly drawn. They're absolutely awful. I've never drawn toes before, so that was a very new experience for me. Now, about the colors. I really struggle with color. That's not something I really like to admit to, but I really do struggle with colors. And I could only think of a lot of different shades of green, and I think it turned out okay for everything except for the cape. I'm not very happy with the color of the cape. It just seems too bright, but everything else I did just seemed too dull or too dark. And in retrospect, I think I should have made it slightly bluish. That would have been a better color to do. And but it's just all a learning experience. So I'm not too heartbroken about it. It's always nice when you can get things right the first time around, but it doesn't always work that way. Nobody is perfect, and we just kind of have to accept that about ourselves. But now that I've said that, I have to go ahead and say I'm a perfectionist. And because I'm a perfectionist, I felt the need that I had to soft shade it like I always do, and I didn't learn my lesson from when I did the assassin dog girl. In the future, please yell at me if I don't cel shade it. Even with my perfectionist tendencies, I ended up giving up towards the end and just wanting to get it done as soon as possible. With that all said, here's the finished piece. I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know about you, I like how the design turned out. Maybe not so much the coloring, like I was saying before, but I do like the design, especially the hair. The hair is probably my favorite part, right next to the little bird. I want to know what you guys think, and I'm definitely going to do more of these. I want to do all 30 episodes of this. I want to do every single prompt. Anyway, thank you for watching and putting up with my sick voice and my tiredness. See you guys.